Hi, I just wanted to give a special shout out to Miss Doss and Mr. Snyder for being teachers who are always there to talk, whether it's about vacations or Grey's Anatomy or just everyday life events. Thanks for being great.
Happy Teacher Appreciation Week. I'd like to thank all of the Gilliland Central School District teachers I've had throughout elementary school, middle school, and high school. Specifically, I'd like to thank Ms. Lucer, Mr. Marino, Mr. Canali, Mrs. McConaughey for giving me the tips you guys have given me throughout high school to make me the best student I can be. I'll be bringing your guidance with me for sure after I graduate high school and go on to college and future plans. I'd like to also thank Ms. Loser for sparking my interest into forensic science and giving me the opportunities you have for this class. I will now be pursuing forensic science as part of my studies within college. I'd like to give a special shout out to Mr. Maycock for directing this year's production of Chicago and guiding me throughout the 4 years, making me improve my musical theater ability, leading me into getting a lead role in Chicago as a Miss Hart. Thank you all so much.
A teacher that I really appreciate is Mr. McBride. I had Mr. McBride in 10th and 11th grade, and it was probably one of my favorite classes for both of those years. He taught us so much, and he read us a lot of really cool stories. We had a lot of laughs in that class, and I really appreciate everything he's done for us.
I'd like to give a shout out to Mr. Scopus, Mr. Pinchinot, Mr. Penna, Miss Fox, Miss Dayton, and Mr. Green. Mr. Scopus is fantastic. I don't have him this year, but I had him a few years ago. And, I had my moments where, Jocelyn could be a little bit of a pain in the butt and give slightly hard times about people. So, and he always had my back. He was always understanding of that. He never yelled at me, never ripped me up. He understood, and he was just like the bomb teacher. And I ended up getting close to Mr. Scopus. Me and Mr. Scopus are tight, So thank you for that, Mr. Scopus. Mr. Pinchinot is my history teacher and my tutor. He's amazing. He raps. He gets everybody happy. If you're not in a good mood, you just need to talk to Mr. Pinchinot, okay? Mr. Pinchinot is the bomb. So he also has my back and he helps me study for tests. So that's always good. So thank you, Mr. Pinchinot. Mr. Penna is my English teacher. Fantastic, let me just say. Mr. Penna is one of the funniest people I know. I'm not gonna lie, he's hilarious. He always has a smile on his face. Whenever I walk in his room if I'm not having a good day, once I see him, my day is automatically turns to being amazing. Miss Fox, I had her when I had social studies in 9th grade, and then I had her this year in my English class. She is a little joy in my life. She's amazing. She helps me with homework. She understands when I'm going through a tough time. She's always there and trustworthy people to talk to. All these teachers are trustworthy. So thank you, Miss Fox. Miss Dayton, love her. She's my tutorial teacher and my history teacher. She helps me with homework. She makes sure I'm all caught up, and if I'm not, she makes sure that I get to where I need to be to do good. She's just a positive influence on my life. I love Miss Dayton. And Mr. Green, you know who you are, right? Mr. Green. I had him as an art teacher. And let me just say, he is hilarious, okay? He always has some sort of funny story to tell us. He's got some funny pictures he shows us. He's great. He also has a lot of patience for somebody like me because, one time I had a camera that I borrowed and didn't bring it back for quite a while. I ended up bringing it back. I just kept forgetting. And, he never lost it on me. Okay, he never took points off. He just waited patiently and I got the camera back to him and it was perfect. So, Mr. Green's the bomb too. Love all those teachers, so I just wanted to give a shout out to all of those teachers. Thank you guys. You guys were amazing. Have a good summer. And I'll see you when I see you. Bye.
Hi. I've been so grateful these last 4 years to have so many amazing teachers, and I'd just like to shout out 2 of my incredible teachers that I've had this year and in past years as well. So firstly, I'd like to shout out Mrs. Kiro. She has been the most amazing orchestra teacher ever, and that class is just such an amazing like way to relieve my stress. Like I always walk in and it's just so relaxing to get to play my favorite instrument with all my friends, and we've really like developed a close bond, like all of us in orchestra. It honestly feels like a family, and it really makes my day just getting to play violin in orchestra. And she's been such an amazing teacher, such an amazing role model and support system for so many kids in orchestra, and I'm so grateful to have had her for these last 5 years, 4 years in high school and then in 8th grade. I'd also like to shout out Miss Mack, who is my AP Lit teacher, and she has been the coolest, the funniest teacher that I've ever had. Like, I love her so much. She really, really goes out of her way to make everyone's days better. She always sends us funny memes, or she'll ask us to like send TikToks. We'll have Google Meets and we'll just talk about life and get off topic sometimes when we're actually supposed to be learning, but that's okay. We always just have such a fun time in her class, and whenever I walk in her room, it's just such a bright atmosphere, and our class has really like developed a strong bond, and I'm just really thankful to have had her class this year. It's gotten me through so many hard times, and just being there in like a positive setting with her has really, really like impacted me, and I'm so grateful to have had a teacher like her. And I'm gonna miss her, and I'm gonna miss Mrs. Kiro so much, and I'm gonna miss all of my teachers at GHS. I've not had a single teacher that I didn't like. Everybody has gone out of their way to make students, to make their lives easier and just to be there for us. So I'm really thankful for these last 4 years at Guilderland, and I'm gonna miss it so much.
So hi everybody, thank you so much to all the amazing GHS teachers that have helped me accomplish so many goals and just for being amazing. So first, I wanted to give a shout out to Miss Rudolph. Thank you so much for teaching me. I loved your US history class. You inspired me to actually pursue teaching, and now I'm going to college for that. I loved your class. You were an amazing teacher, so just thank you for everything. Next is Mr. Hughes. I can go to this teacher for anything. You've always been there for me, so thank you. Even though I had you in 9th grade, I still talk to you all the time as a senior. And a quick shout out to Mr. Bott. Thank you for letting me rant to you in the library. And to Miss Stein and Miss Knapp, who were my senior AP teachers who really helped me through this AP during this virus. And the last one is Mr. Kaufman. Thank you for taking me and the gang to Europe, London, and Paris. I know it was really hard, but thank you so much. And just in general, thank you guys. You guys are all amazing teachers.
Hi, I would like to thank Mr. Generip for being such a wonderful teacher this year. I think he taught me a lot about English, a lot about how I can really, communicate how I'm feeling, which is very nice. And also, he's just been a great help with senior year things. Writing my college essay was really big. He's just a really nice teacher, and he's always there to listen. I spent a lot of lunch periods with him, and it was just nice to talk like adults, which is something that I don't usually get to do, which was very nice. So thank you. I really appreciate it. I would also like to thank Mr. Gockley for being such a nice guy. Every single day last year, I would just look forward to either seeing you in the hall or seeing you in class. You always had the best way of communicating what we were learning. You always gave it a really nice feel about how we were actually going to be using this in real life. Even if you got thrown off on a tangent, it was nice to hear some actual experience with stuff that we were learning. So thank you, and keep going. Thank you, Mr. Hahn, for actually giving us a voice. I feel like in your classroom, I was actually able to speak on things that I cared about, and even if I went a little bit too long sometimes, we were still able to have a nice conversation. I also really think that what you're doing with Civil Conversation Club is really important and will help the school long after I'm gone. So I would like to thank you, and I would also like to thank you for really giving people like me a voice, and even people who don't like to speak as much as I do. I think it was really nice how you were trying to get everyone to talk all the time, even if it's from Lena Gupta or William Dupree. I think it was really nice how you genuinely care about all your students despite how much they talk in your class. I think that was really cool. I also just think that you're a very admirable person on your reflection that you do of yourself every year and how much you really do care about things that aren't yourself. It's really important. And I think the way that you carry yourself is very admirable as well. I think it'll take a lot to tear you down. I think that's very, very nice to see. I think it's hard sometimes for high school kids to see, you know, people who truly are very happy with themselves. So I think it's nice to see that in a good teacher. So thank you.
Hi, I just want to give a huge thank you to Miss Wine. I had you almost every single year of high school, and you were always willing to go out of your way for your students, and that's one of the things that I most admired about you. Without you, my high school experience would definitely have not been the same, and you really pushed me to be the writer I am today, which is probably one of the main reasons why I'm going to college for it. So I just wanted to say thank you so much, and I'm really going to miss you next year.
Hey, this is Ryan Kapuzinski, and I just want to give a shout out to 5 teachers I've had during my high school career. The first I'd like to thank is Mr. Gigante. I love the dynamic in his classroom because we could be dedicated and focused and on task, and he challenged me. His class really challenged me. But at the same time, we also had a good time. We laughed. We rode the tangent together, as he would say. And I just had a good time in his classroom and also got work done and was really challenged. I want to really thank him for that. And I also just want to thank him quickly for all the places I went to, all the ski mountains I went to because of Ski Club through him for the past 4 years of high school. So thank you, Mr. Gigante. Next teacher I'd like to thank is Mrs. Haas, my 11th grade chemistry teacher. She always put the extra mile in for students. That's something I really admired about her. I can go into detail about all the things she's done, but I just want to share that and I could tell she truly cared about the student and them learning, not necessarily their grades, but like what they were learning. She really wanted them to get the concepts that they needed as long as they tried. As long as the student wanted to learn, she would go out of her way to make sure that she helped them. And I just really thought that was inspiring. So thank you to Mrs. Haas. Next teacher I'd like to thank is Miss Wine, my super English teacher from this year. Super inclusive, super welcoming, very understanding and very lenient. Her class environment was just very calm and she made everyone feel welcomed. And I just think that her classroom was really a great place to be for that. And I just want to thank her for the environment that she held for all of her students, and thank you to Miss Wine. Next teacher I'd like to thank is Mr. McBride, my English teacher from 10th and 11th grade. I loved Mr. McBride. I had him for 2 years. I had to go back. Very easygoing, very kind, extremely thoughtful. He was just a really, really nice guy, and he had so many talents and so many passions, and he shared great stories, and I just loved being in his classroom because he offered so many different perspectives on everything, and I just really respect him as a teacher, and I'm gonna miss him a lot. He was just a very nice guy to have around, and I want to thank him just for being who he was as a teacher. Last teacher I'd like to thank is Mrs. Kiro, my orchestra teacher from 8th grade all the way to 12th grade. She was very easygoing, very understanding, and she was very family oriented, I felt. She ran her class like we were all just a big family, and our goal was to make something together, and I just really appreciate that about her because for me, I got 5 years with her to dedicate myself to becoming a better violinist on my own, but also, with that being said, me becoming a better violinist also helped the general group function of an orchestra, and me getting myself better also helps getting us better as a group, and that's something she taught me, and that's something I'm going to carry with me for the rest of my life. And I just want to thank all those teachers, and I want to thank every teacher I've had for helping me to get to where I am today. Thank you very much, and I'll see you.
This is a shout out for Mr. Ryan.
Mr. Ryan, thank you for being so supportive.
And for always being someone we can talk to.
You're the best!
I just want to give a special shout out to the best teachers I will ever have. And I wanted to say this now more than ever that I miss you guys, and I'm going to make you proud, because I really am going to take college seriously, and I'm not going to let my procrastination stop me anymore. I feel bad because recently I've been doing too much of it, but I remember back to the times where I couldn't do work, and I'm not going to let that stop me. So I want to give a special shout out to Miss Springsteen, Miss Fox, Miss Fallon, Miss Gregory, Miss Martin, and all the other teachers that really made high school fun. Because a lot of people say, oh, school is so boring, school is so lame, but I really don't think so. Not when you're around the right people. So this is my goodbye, and this is going to be the hardest thing I ever have to do in my entire life, because I really miss you guys so much. I love you, keep going, and I hope that one day I can come back and see you guys.
Hi Gilland, I'm Sam Doherty. I graduated from the school in the class of 2019, but I hung around this year to continue doing some support for the school because after all, once a Dutchman, always a Dutchman. By the way, note the backdrop on my wall. That is my YouTube channel logo, LegoGuy01. I have become ever popular in the area, and I can thank you guys for that. Thank you for supporting my channel over the years. It's been great becoming a local celebrity and learning what it's like to have friends, and if you guys keep watching my videos, I'll keep entertaining you guys. I love having some supporters, and to that I say thank you. Anyway, it's been a fun ride these past few years being part of the Gilland community. It was where I grew as a person and just began to strengthen myself a lot. This was really the school in my 13 years that took me places I never thought I could go. I never thought that I was going to be getting my first job opportunity in the media department, for example. That I can thank Mr. Maycock for that. If you're watching this, thank you for the opportunity in the media department. I learned a lot of fun activities to do with helping like the cameras and filming the sports, and also getting to know like how to set up stuff and just learning what like a job experience is like. I would also like to thank coaches Tynan, Gallagher, and Relier for my experience in the unified sports programs. It was another great opportunity for me to not only connect with other people, but also for me to stay physically active and be competitive. It really has helped a lot in my terms of being a strong individual. I would like to thank Mr. Green and the art department at Gilland High School for helping me launch my career. It was where I made it big doing stuff for the media arts class that I decided to strengthen at my current school, Hudson Valley Community College. I've learned so far different aspects of art like drawing and digital imaging, and this thing right here was all because I took 2D design. I learned how to paint. I learned how to draw compositions, measure things out, and then use the right colors. And I am majoring in digital media right now, and so far, it's been smooth sailing. And finally, I'd like to thank the Sources of Strength program for helping me prepare for my future. It was where I took what is now known as the post-high school prep class that I learned what it would be like in the real world, having a job, going to college, living on my own, learning real life skills that some just come natural to others, but for other people, you need to learn them by someone telling you. I don't think if I never took that class, I think it would have been harder for me to get through my first year of college.
Hi everyone. We just wanted to make this video to express how incredibly grateful we are for everything that you've done for us. I would just say that getting to know all of you has been a privilege and an honor beyond what I can express. And thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything that you've done. We're all going to miss you very, very much.